guys, guess what? This is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. And as just earlier in Charlottesville, North Carolina, and today I am back in Memphis, Tennessee with Memphis Ghost Hunters. What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
What is going on today? How are you doing?
Oh, dude, I am staying busy. One podcast after another, after another, after another. You know, it seems like it never stops.
I hear that, man.
But you know what? That's cool. I like that. I like staying busy. It keeps me to get out of trouble because I'm always in trouble. It seems like it anyway. You know what I'm saying? All right, what's up, Steve? How you doing, brother? I see you missed today's podcast. I think you're out of town, but anyway, glad to have you on the show tonight. All right, Memphis, what's going on, man? Tell the world a little bit about you.
Well, I'm located in Memphis, Tennessee, home of Elvis Presley. You know, that great stuff. A little bit about myself. I am a paranormal investigator. I've been on TV a couple times already. I own the oldest cemetery here in Memphis. Dated back to 1830. So our mission right now has been to restore the cemetery and try to fit in some investigations, or try to anyway.
Ooh-wee.
But we got some big one coming up.
Uh-oh, I heard it. What you got
No, that's
there?
not beer. That's not beer.
Oh,
That's
dang.
a ghost.
Oh, what the hell is that?
It's Ghost energy drink. They got one that's like tastes like Bubblicious gum, warheads, and gummy bears and stuff like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that your own thing or somebody's actually produced
No,
it?
I got it at the grocery store. 2 for $5.
Dude, I've never even heard of that before. That must be only a Tennessee thing because I've never even seen that.
Really?
And never. Man, and I'm always in the grocery store for some odd reason.
Man, it's good stuff, man.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good stuff.
All right. Hey, well, let's get this party started, man. Tell me about the cemetery that you just recently purchased.
So the cemetery, it's kind of strange. I'll tell you the little story about it. So prior to being Memphis Ghost Hunters, I used to trespass onto the property. It was just an abandoned cemetery that was just overgrown, you know. And anyway, when I got my team formed up and stuff, we decided to go out there and do some investigations. And I got in touch with the owners, and they gave us permission to do some hunts out there. We did some paranormal investigating, got a lot of good stuff. And once we got in touch with the owners, they let us put on like an event, but not really not like ghost hunting event, but it was more or less of a cleanup event to help clean the cemetery up. It was all overgrown and it was just jacked up. So we did that a couple times. Once we did that, I got a phone call from them. Want to know if I could meet up with them and stuff like that. You know, I'm like, yeah, sure. Just give me a time and date, and I'll make it. So, in my head, I thought, okay, it's getting closer to spring. You know, so I figured we're gonna be doing this big cleanup and all this stuff. You know. So they told me they want to give me the cemetery. I just kind of laughed at them. I'm like, really? Like, what is this going to cost me here? You know, they're like, it's not going to cost you anything. We're just going to do a D transfer and it's going to be yours. I'm like, well, I got to talk to my wife about it, right? So My wife was like, it's that's up to you, what you want to do. And she said, it's going to be a lot of work and stuff like that. So I had a meeting with my team about it, and some people on my team at the time, they didn't want me to do it. Uh, they thought it was a bad idea about it. So
Hmm.
originally, I told them no. Okay, and the more I kept thinking about it, I called them back. I'm like, can we meet up and talk about this? And they're like, yeah. So we went and talked to them, or I did anyway, and they didn't want the cemetery to fall in hands to the city of Memphis at the time. Uh,
Hmm.
and there was another organization they didn't want to have the hands on the property that's been trying to get the property, and another guy who wanted it, they didn't want to give it to him either. So after just thinking about it and trying to figure out, is this the right thing to do? And then I had another meeting with them, and I was like, all right, I need to know, do you owe any back money on this property? Uh, what's the catch? That kind of stuff. And they said there's no catch. And I looked up, like, see if they own back taxes or anything like that. So I found out there's no taxes on the cemetery. So it's a tax-free cemetery, so you pay no taxes on it. So I started digging a little bit further, and I decided, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to do it. You know, um, I don't know what's going to happen, uh, but most investigators, not all, but most of people, they really want their own location. And I thought, okay, this would be a good training ground for people who want to join a team, to get that experience of being in dark places by themselves and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I was kind of looking at it at the time. So anyway, I paid the $10 for the deed, and the next thing you know, I got local news on me, about owning
Oh wow.
cemetery, right? So yeah. So after that, um, I was kind of like a slump trying to figure out, okay, I have this cemetery. I own a bunch of dead people. So what do I do now? So like I didn't really have a direction of where to go. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time. So I decided I'm gonna start a GoFundMe account. Uh, I kind of wrote down a list of
Hmm.
stuff that we needed. We need something to clean these headstones with to bring back to life. We're gonna need some mowers. We're gonna need some weed eaters. We're gonna need some blowers. We're gonna need gas, oil, bags, all this stuff. So I was like,
Right.
okay. So I told my wife what we all needed, right? And she's like, well, don't spend our money. I was like, uh, what am I supposed to do then? You know, like
Exactly.
what do I do? But she said, don't you go be blowing our money. I'm like, well, I said, babe, I gotta get insurance on the property. And she's like, well, fine, you can do that much, but don't blow nothing else. All right. So
Mm.
that's when I started the GoFundMe account. So I started to GoFundMe. It kind of took off. I had people reach out to me that want to volunteer, but they never showed up. Um, so we were able to raise enough money to get a lawnmower, a couple weed eaters at that time, and then we bought some gas tanks and your basic stuff to get started with, and we
Right.
start weeding it, and start mowing it, and the next thing you know, oh lordy, we're finding headstones all over the place. We found a lot more than what we thought
Wow.
that we actually thought was there. Um, so we had some issues the first year trying to get it right, and then my wife told me, she's like, you've got to bring some type of income in to cover, the insurance on the property, you know,
Right.
and
Right.
the stuff that we're doing. And I'm like, well, okay, so what am I supposed to do? That's how it was. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, literally. I mean, no one's going to pay for a tour in the cemetery, just to walk around a bunch of dead bodies out there, and that's how I felt, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "Well, maybe y'all need to reach out to paranormal teams and stuff like that." I'm like, "I don't know." So I had a meeting with everybody and kind of just told them, you know, this is what we're going to do, right? We're going to start historical tours, right? So I started off small. Like I was charging $10 a person just for a historical walking tour, and that was it. And then people all started asking me, okay, what about haunted tours? And I'm like, well, I haven't really thought about that, you know, because I was trying to keep. It's gonna sound crazy. In a way, I was trying to keep where I keep the paranormal out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to use it for a training ground. Well, when the insurance and all that for the property came through, it was really high, man. It was like more than house insurance, and I was like, why is this? You know? And my insurance agency or agent told me, well, it's like a semi-business type of insurance. You know, so it's not like a residential home insurance because you still have a cemetery that technically I could probably still bury people in there. So it's not a business, but they consider it like a semi thing, you know. So my insurance was
Right.
way high, you know. So I was like, well, shit, for what I'm charging these people, I can't. There's no fucking way I can cover this, you know. And then
It is.
anyway, I was like, well, okay, well, I got to do something. So I decided that I was going to build a campground and build an area for paranormal investigators to come out to camp out there. Because I got to thinking, like, what cemeteries can paranormal investigators investigate without getting kicked out by the law? So now you have a
Right.
spot where you can come and investigate all night long and no one's there to bother you.
Put that there.
You know what I mean? Like, how
Right.
awesome would
Right.
that be? You know,
Oh,
and you
that.
have all the wood you want to burn. You can do whatever you want to do and just have a good time. So me and Dan and another person, and Dan's the guy that's on my team. We went to town, man.
Wow.
Is
Now,
what we
is
did.
this
And
is this now the question is, are you allowing active burial to go on there if
no,
they're paying? No.
no.
Wow.
So each state has different laws, right?
Uh huh.
So in the state of Tennessee, if I wanted to, I could have people buried out there, right, to bring a source of income. But there's a problem with that. Okay, there's a bunch of legal stuff behind it. So you got to have here in Tennessee, you got to have a $250,000 escrow bond to even
Oh,
be thought
look at
of.
that.
And, and since the cemetery is so old, you know, I mean, it's almost 200 years old. Uh, you have to have the ground X-rayed for bodies because I have a lot of graves out there without headstones. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't bury on top of another body. Well, you can, but you can't. So Tennessee has these weird laws, right? So if you were buried with a vault, you can't be buried on top of each other. There's a 75-year limit mark they have, right? Um, so they figure in 75 years that you'd be completely bone and that's it. Okay, no flesh, nothing like that. You know, so that was a no go.
Wow,
After I
that's
did,
crazy.
there's just so much legal stuff behind it, right? And then if I was to bury on top of another body, you have to go through the family. That's if you could find the family. So you're
Exactly.
looking at Raleigh Cemetery was founded in 1830. The first grave buried or burial was in 1831. The last person to be buried out there, which was the Mosby family that had to get special permission uh, at the state capitol, was in I believe in 1985. So from like
Oh, wow.
1950ish or so, no one was buried there. till 1985. Crazy, huh?
That's crazy. Yeah, that's totally crazy. Did you change the name of it? I mean, what name did you give it? Or did you keep
What,
it
the
the
name of the
original name?
cemetery?
Yeah.
We call it Old Raleigh Cemetery. That's the name of it. Well, legally it's called
Okay.
Raleigh Cemetery, but we call it Old Raleigh Cemetery. And a lot of people who know about it, they
Okay.
call it Old Raleigh Cemetery. Um,
Wow.
the
Now, are
cemetery is
you?
actually the second oldest here in Shelby County.
And that's
You,
and there's no historic marker on that property whatsoever.
yes, there is. There is.
Okay. So
It's
if you
the
want,
I
so if
can't
you
hear
can get
you.
some government assistance,
No,
if you want, you get some government assistance. No.
no, no.
Wow.
So that's the problem that I had, right? So the federal government gives money to the state, right? So for the grants. So you
Mhm.
don't actually apply for the grant through the federal government. You have to apply through the state because the federal government gives the money to the state, and the state decides how they give out the money, right? So when I called Nashville about getting a grant, there's a grant you can use, but it's for like historical homes and stuff like that, right? So when I talked to them up
Mhm.
there, they asked me if I was a nonprofit organization. I said no. I told them that I owned the property, but it was a historical landmark and it was registered. Well, the lady explained to me that there's thousands of different registries that you can have your property put on. You got national, state, historical societies, and like the list just goes on and on and on. You know, one historical marker doesn't mean you get all this money that you would think you would get. It just doesn't work that way. Not here in this state anyway. So the lady told me that I could apply for the grant, but she said 90% of the time I will not get the grant. The grant will usually go to a nonprofit organization. I had reasons of why I'm not going a nonprofit organization because what was going on with Waverly Hills at the time. So
Right.
I didn't want to have a situation like that. And I didn't know people who would like be like on a board member and stuff like that. So that's why I decided to make it self-funded, right? So put it on the historical tours, put it on the haunted tours, and the paranormal teams that want to rent out the property, right? So like right now, the way my prices work, because I went up on the prices because of my insurance, but uh,
Hmm.
so a regular historical tour is $20 a person. Uh, when I put on an event, it's $40 a person. A team could rent the property out for 6 hours for 200. If they want to stay overnight, like till morning, it's $300 plus they get a free breakfast. I thought that was reasonable at the time when I did all the
Hey,
pricing. I thought that was very
yeah,
reasonable compared to what some of these other
and plus,
places are charging.
and plus you get a free breakfast. You
Free
know what I'm
breakfast,
saying?
man.
All right.
Um,
So when you when you decided that you wanted to take over this place and you put all your time and effort into it, cleaning it up, did you find anything of significant value when you was cleaning up this property?
no,
Mm, wow.
there's nothing there of significant value, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
um,
Now, what about unmarked? What about unmarked grave? If you found an unmarked grave, what is your procedure of marking that grave? Uh,
we don't have a procedure yet for that because here's the thing. Um, the property is so soft. So like some of the graves we don't know if they're unmarked or if they've been dug up. Okay. I do know through the city of Memphis, right? That there has
mhm.
been graves that's been dug up and they actually been moved to other locations. Okay. I don't have an exact number, That's the only thing. Um, so more or less, we have to assume that it's a grave there. Okay. So like at our cemetery, there's indentions in the ground. You can see where a body would have been,
Hmm.
but there's no marker. Um, so basically, I don't go out there looking for unmarked graves. If you have an unmarked grave, uh, there's not really much you're going to be able to do for it. Not in this state anyway.
Oh wow.
But I could go out there and put a little cross marker on there, and call it good. But we don't know who's buried there.
Have you got an estimate number on how many people are out there?
Uh, the record that we have, okay, it might not be accurate, but the numbers that we got through the city was 141. That's 141 names that's actually registered through the state as a death record and where they're
Mm,
buried. So that's all we know
wow.
on that. Now there's headstones out there you could read. Like I've reached out to some of the family members that have people buried out there
Hmm.
to see if they'd be willing to help and stuff. No, I don't care.
No,
Yeah. So
no,
like
because
I have
it,
okay, here's a prime example, right? Um there's a guy by the name of Isaac Rawlings. Isaac Rawlings was the second and fifth mayor of Memphis, right? One of his great grandsons lived in Florida, and he don't even care. He's like, whatever, you know. But he was still the second and fifth mayor of Memphis, and Memphis don't even care. Like City Hall, the mayor right now don't care. That's
don't
pretty
care.
shitty. They don't care.
That's it's
It's
crazy
crazy, man.
because all
This this
because I
cemetery.
because I
Oh, go ahead.
always thought that people that have significant value, not significant value, that have significant importance in a certain city
Right,
will, at least here in Texas, would be put in a certain place. You know, uh,
right,
whether it's a city cemetery with only the prestige, lawmakers, and all that. So yeah, it's kind of weird, And this dates back to the founding fathers of Texas that made that law. That's how far back
right.
that goes. So, but to have a mayor of a city in a in a grave, I mean, in a cemetery where nobody even cares about, that's
No,
unbelievable.
they don't care about nothing. Okay, so like this past year we had lawnmower issues, right? So the lawnmowers kept breaking down, everything else. So we didn't get a chance to get. We got like one mow in this year. That was it. So it grew back up, right? Which is going to be different now because I went to this Paracon and
Hmm.
they help us get a zero turn. So we're good on that part, which I can't wait. Uh, so I reached out to the mayor's office, and all they tell me was, "Oh well, we have to vote for this. We gotta vote for this." And that was like 5 6 months ago.
That's
Like,
crazy.
and you don't hear nothing back, and that's
Oh no,
why
you
I got so mad because like people who said, "Well, we'll come out there and help you out, with your cemetery and blah blah blah. We'll help you with a fence, we'll help you with this." That's why I just gave up on these people that kept telling me stuff, and I tell people, don't tell me you're going to do something unless you're going to do it.
exactly.
Like now, my Memphis blood coming out, that gangster life, it's coming out.
Oh,
Don't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because I got so fed up with it, and I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that the name Memphis Ghost Hunters. I think that played a big
hmm,
factor, and I think what they thought was, oh, we're going to be summoning the dead and everything else and all this other crazy stuff. Whatever. We're trying to, preserve history because this place was pretty much
exactly.
forgotten, you know, And I run across people who like I would be like, oh yeah, I can remember that property. You know, back in the '70s, we used to go play hide and seek out there.
Hmm.
You know,
That
all
is
this other
crazy.
stuff. You know,
So tell me,
but the
right,
time
right.
comes, they ain't gonna do anything. I just got fed up with it. I'm like, whatever.
Now, do you feel like you kind of that you might regret getting this property?
No, I don't regret it one bit.
Okay, that's
I don't
cool.
regret it one bit
You know,
because, like with Memphis Ghost Hunters, like it's helped us tremendously as paranormal investigators. When you own a
hmm
cemetery, you have more respect for the dead than you did beforehand. It will change you. It will change your way of thinking. It will change the way of your life. It will make you think about your own life in this world that we live in. Believe it or not, it will. You know, there's times I've been out there by myself where I wanted to investigate and I didn't. And I just kept thinking to myself, like, you know what? I hope God realized what I've done here. Okay. And realize the effort that I'm
right,
putting into this to preserve this. And I also think like,
right.
you know, when we die, we're not gonna feel nothing. It's just gonna be lights out. That's it.
Yeah.
You're not even gonna know if it's gonna come. And these people who are buried here, I truly believe the spirits are still there. Some might disagree with it, but it just makes you think of everything that in life in general. It's basically what I'm trying to say. You know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now, have you? Tell me some of the things you've experienced out there yourself.
Oh, good lord.
The, because some of the but don't. The one thing that I do know, if you go out there long enough, and spirits beginning to see you time and time again, they will come to understand you and know who you are.
I've seen some stuff. Trust me, and I've heard some stuff. A lot of times when we're doing our spirit box sessions out there, and they always say my name. There's probably not a time they know who I am. Uh, my investigator Dan, they know who he is. You know, it's just I've had some crazy stuff. Okay, here's one story. We were putting on a tour back in the summer, and what was really crazy, I have this thing called the new side, right? So the new
hmm
side of the cemetery is newer graves, you know, from like the 40s and 50s and stuff like that. And anyway, out of I think we had like 12 people there on that tour, and they all 12 saw the same shadow figure that we were seeing at the same time.
How many of them ran?
None. I've only had, well, I've had people, you know, leave the cemetery and get scared, but that was pretty amazing. Now, one time, me and Dan, we were investigating, and we were trying to do this little mini series because we still haven't investigated every single inch of the property. You know, we've had it about 2 years, whatnot.
hmm
We still haven't investigated every little thing in there. Well, we're sitting there just investigating, and all of a sudden, me and Dan sees this guy on the old end, okay, just walking along. Went to the street, and we went up there. We couldn't find nobody. That's pretty
Oh
freaky.
wow.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but
How
there's
many kids? Do you think there are any kids out there?
oh yeah, there's actually a mass grave of children out there from yellow fever. I do know this.
Oh wow.
I've done a lot of research on the property and who's buried out there. Um, So like this, Raleigh Cemetery is a mystery. Okay, so what's really crazy? Okay, here's for me to explain it to you. In 1885, they made a map for the county. Okay, I have a picture of this. So when you look at the maps, they got square section like 1, 2, 7, 8, 11, 12, 15, whatever. You know,
Right.
at the time in 1885, it only shows two cemeteries in the whole county. That's Winchester, which was the first cemetery of the county, and it shows Elmwood Cemetery, which was I think in 1883 they were founded. But nowhere's on that map it don't show Raleigh Cemetery at all. Nowhere on that map.
Hmm.
Pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's telling me that people don't want nobody to know it's there,
People don't want to do anything with Raleigh
or
Cemetery. It's been like this
yeah,
beginning of time. So when Isaac Rawlings died, he was going to be buried at I think it was Elmwood or Winchester, but in his will, he wanted to be buried at Raleigh Cemetery because the letter he wrote, it said that in the morning the cemetery is so beautiful when the sun comes over the hill. And it is. When the sun comes up over the hill out there, it's freaking gorgeous, man. Especially when it's mowed. It's amazing when you're out there. It's crazy. It's creepy too.
oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
But
Tell me something. Tell me a little bit about Memphis, Tennessee, man.
Elvis.
The town, is that the town you grew up in?
Yeah, I grew up in Memphis. We're the murder capital of
Tell
the
me a little
world.
bit. Yeah, tell me a little bit about Memphis, man. What's going on over there? You know, I know there's a couple of paranormal teams out there uh,
Yeah.
that are in Memphis. Do you collaborate with them, or you just leave them alone?
Um, I used to. Um, there's a couple of them around here that I would mess with, but the problem with that is they're like mom and pop shops. They pop up, they disappear. They pop up, they disappear. Uh, Here in Memphis, when it comes to paranormal teams, I got. Can I be blunt on here?
Sure, hell yeah, you can.
Well, they're all fucking worthless. Plain and simple. I'm dead honest with you
Okay.
folks, right? These teams that pop up in here, it's especially in Memphis, it's who's better than the next person and who could do the most investigating than the other person. If you call a team up and say, "Hey, can you help me with this?" They say, "Yeah, sure, we'll do that for you," but they never show up.
Mm.
I don't trust any team here in Memphis. None of them.
Oh wow. Hey, I need to
Um,
have you on my show on Friday nights, man. That
who?
is, I need to have you on my podcast on Friday nights
I'm
because
just blunt.
if
I
it,
got a lot of people who don't
yeah,
like me, but and that's fine because, like here in Memphis, man, these paranormal teams, right? And there's only one other team here in Memphis that does really good work. Okay, and that's Memphis Urban Ghost Hunters. Okay, they used to be called Memphis Empath Paranormal Society, and that one's run by Eric Murphy. He's good. Okay, we got another guy here that has historical haunts of Memphis,
hmm
and he owns a location downtown called the Broom Closet. He was good, but he likes to stab investigators in the back, and he really
oh
does. Like,
yeah,
he wanted to come up to my cemetery and investigate. They were going to pay me and all this crap. Well, they never paid me. Trying to be nice with the guy. And then he wanted to bring his team out. I told him, make a donation to the cemetery, help us out a little bit. Like $20, whatever. Nothing. And now he doesn't want nothing to do with me. I I kind of felt like he kind of used me because I let him do some tours that he made money off of, and I never got paid for it.
Oh
So
hell no! Hey,
yeah, so
you or I
and
tell you
he
what, dude.
belongs with Taps. That's the thing. He belongs with Taps. I mean, you were part of the Taps organization, and you do that shit, man. Whatever. So that's why I have
Hey,
people who know me. Like when it comes to teams, right? Let's put it like this. The best way for me to tell you this is I keep my enemies closer than my friends. Okay.
oh, you got to.
I don't
You have
collaborate with
to,
a lot
dude.
of teams because I don't trust a lot of teams. And I'd rather have the ones I don't trust closer to me than the ones I do trust. That's just me right there alone. Because
Yeah.
now hear me out, okay? When they talk about para unity, okay, that's when we all get together, we do our things and stuff like this.
Hmm.
To me, I think someone just made that up so we can investigate together. Now, there is some teams out there that are really close and really good friends, but a lot of times in this field, it seems like who could outdo the other person. That's the God honest truth. You can look at social media, TikTok, YouTube. That's the way it's always been. And what made me go away from that, and I'm gonna tell this on your show, okay? You probably won't invite me back again, but have you ever heard of TWC? Do you know who TWC is? I think you
Never
froze up.
met him.
TWC is Tennessee Race Chasers. They used to be on TV.
Yeah, I like it. Yep.
Right.
Uh,
I reached out to Chris and that Steve Goncalves, whatever his name is,
hmm.
to come out to my cemetery to validate the supernatural things that are going on there. And they never come to West Tennessee. They live in Tennessee. They have a nice little following. But when you reach out to them, it's all about the money, baby. It's all about the money. So I had a problem with that. And so I asked them, I'm like, what about this? I thought y'all were part of like para unity, when someone calls you up, you give them a hand if you can, you know. I'm like, I'm not even going to publicize this.
Hmm.
And they keep telling me, well, yeah, we'll come check it out. We'll come check it out. But yet in return, they never come. They never call me back. So I had a problem with that, you know.
Hmm.
So that's what kind of like made me like, I guess, just kind of back away from all this para unity stuff.
Right,
And
right.
I'm now coming back around with it. But I'm very cautious of who I get close to. You know, like for instance,
Yeah.
I don't know what I should say is, I was working on something. Okay, I was on the show called Conjuring Kesha on season 1, episode 2, and during that TV show, I was at Antoinette Hall. Got to meet some producers, executive producers, some camera people and stuff, and they asked me to do a little something, right? That's all I'm gonna say. They asked me to do a little something, so I did a little something, and it got leaked out for what I was doing, and a group called Outlaw Paranormal basically copied an idea that I had for this something that I had going on.
Hmm.
They leaked out and they copied it and trying to be like me, and I had a problem with that too. So that's why I don't say a whole lot to anybody anymore.
Right. Well, I tell you what, man, you are a
It's
better
just
man than
crazy,
me.
man. It's like who could outdo the other person? It gets old after a while, bro.
You're a better man than me. Right. Anybody out there. make something that I didn't make, it's gonna be a problem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
gonna be a. It's
That's
not
why.
gonna be
That's
a
why.
small problem.
I mean, I'm coming around. Don't get me wrong. I've had some bad stuff happen to me while being like a paranormal investigator and stuff like that. And I always felt like a lot of people were just felt like really intimidated what I'm doing. Um, so I don't get too close. Like I'll be friends with people. You know, I got a lot of friends out there that's like on
Hmm.
different teams and stuff like that all over the United States. But this past month or so, I've gotten a lot better. I would say maybe 2 months now, trying to make that mold. That's the way I can put it. To get closer
Right.
to some people and stuff, but any tricks that I do and tips and stuff like that, I just don't give them out. You know, like when people ask me, "Can you train me and this and that?" I just don't do it anymore. You know, like some of the paranormal stuff, unless I know them, like you're cool. I help you out. You know, but there's just some teams out there. I know how they are, and I just won't mess with them.
Uh-huh.
That's just me.
Oh wow.
You know,
Okay. Well,
and I like to
there was
stay. I'm trying to
the
stay away
way.
from like the drama stuff because I noticed
Definitely.
like over the years there's I kind of felt like being a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator or having your own team, it was like a high school team. Okay, you got your smart people, you got your cheerleaders over here, you got your jocks, and you got your nerds. Okay, and that's how it's been. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You just tell me,
Oh
you know. I
yeah.
mean, but that's how I feel, you know. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll keep my group of nerds over here. But
Actually,
that's how
you
it's
was
been,
at
man. It's
a.
crazy, dude. But too many people sugarcoat stuff,
No,
and I just got to the point where I'm not going to sugarcoat anything anymore. You know, that's
there
just
you
the way
go.
I am
You
now.
can't. Not in this.
You
If
can't,
you should have something, you would
because
definitely step back.
if you let them walk on you one time, they're gonna keep walking all over you. It may not be the same team, but it'll be another team, then another team, then another team, then another team, then another team,
Yeah,
and then
and
you're fucked. I mean, excuse my
I
French,
know.
but that's the way it is, though.
Uh,
That's the thing.
I
That's what people understand.
and I am not there. I'm trying to find out because I had a podcast with a team up in what was the name? It was in Tennessee. There and and you came on the podcast and you were talking. And I'm like, 'cause you did a Paracon when all this was going down, and I like, hey Memphis, I'm coming for you, man. I want you on the podcast. You're like, well, come on, man. Hey, I would love to be on the show. But I cannot think of that team that I'm looking in my phone to see which team it is, but I cannot think of that team. And it was a pretty good team. It seemed like you guys,
Right.
got along pretty well. But I cannot find it, dude. I cannot find who that is whatsoever.
There's a
Man,
lot of good teams out there. A lot of good teams out there.
yeah, and what's so crazy about paranormal teams is for one, they don't set up a means of communication
Right.
that's actually correct. Because when you put up your Facebook page, and let's just say, and I'm a somebody who's in need, and all you would put out is blah 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 blah. But one, you don't put an email. Two, you don't put a phone number. Three, how
Right.
often do you check? How often do you check your Facebook page? Dude, I've ran across somebody who haven't checked their Facebook page since May, back in May. So
Right.
if I got a problem and I'm in your area, the first thing I'm going to check to see your activity. If you active, then I'm going to reach out to you. But if I look on your Facebook page and see that you're not active, you ain't did shit since May, I'm not going to waste my time with you. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So I
like
think
me.
people need to go back.
That's like me.
Yeah. So
People who search for ghost hunting in Memphis. I'm probably like a third top hit list here in Memphis, or like on Google. Got a 5-star rating. I must be doing something right.
yeah. Let's be doing some 5-star rating. Hell,
I mean, I'm not
hey,
trying to
I
boast
don't
or
think,
anything, but
dude.
we
I tell
there's
you, I
probably
don't even have
8 or 9 different teams here in Memphis, literally, but you don't hear nothing, say nothing. But I promise you, you go anywhere here in Memphis, and somebody who knows about the paranormal field, right, or watches ghost hunting shows, and you mention Memphis ghost hunters, I guarantee they'll know who you're talking about. Guarantee it. There's no
I tell
questions
you,
and is
well,
us about it. They know who I am. I'm loud. I'm
yeah,
blunt. I'll tell you like it is. They know
and that's
who
the
I
way it
am.
should be, and that's the way it should be,
They
man.
know
I mean,
exactly who I am.
hey, I gotta respect. You know what? Because some people hate, some people get offended, some people hate the truth.
Right.
But if you blunt and you speak the truth and you tell it how it is, that's just the way it is, brother. You know what I'm saying? No ifs and buts about it.
They
You
really
know,
don't like
if
me on
I see
TikTok.
something and I think, oh shit, hell, they don't like me on TikTok.
Man, it's
You
so
know what?
crazy.
I do what I do.
I'll be on there just looking at
You know what I'm
different
saying?
mediums and stuff, and they see me pop up and they just run.
Oh
Because it
shit.
says
Well,
Memphis
I'll tell
Ghost
you what.
Hunters when you pop up in there. I get banned every time without saying a word. I showed my wife that like last week. I went into a live. There was a lady who was doing some tarot readings and pendulum readings and stuff, and she
Uh-huh.
looked about 19 years old. Next you know, I was
Oh
banned for not
damn.
saying a word.
Oh, oh damn.
It's so funny, man.
Hey, how many is on your team? How many members you got?
Um, you say how many teams? How many people's on my team? It's kind
Yeah,
of hard to hear you.
yeah. How many members do you have on your team?
I got 3. Counting
3.
myself as 4.
Hey, that's all you need. You don't need no more, no less. Fuck it.
No,
I got 5.
I got 2 guys, Dan and Cody, and Cody's wife Kelsey. But Cody, he's a skeptic.
Hmm.
He don't believe in the paranormal, but he's a paranormal investigator. He's slowly coming around.
How's that working out for him? I mean, it's
Great.
clearly he
I love
has
it.
to
It's
because
perfect. I love it like that. I love the fact that I could have somebody on there who could try to debunk the situation. Okay. He tries to debunk every single thing, and that's perfect. That's what I want. I don't want somebody coming in there
exactly
all cocky, thinking they know everything. Right? That's my job.
right. You definitely don't want that.
I don't say I'm the founder. I'm the
Yeah,
owner. Okay. I don't say founder. I'm the owner. This is mine. This is my baby. I create it. I make it. I take it away. Plain and simple.
there you go. There you go. Hey, so what?
But
So what
Cody,
kind of
but
equipment you
Cody's,
working with?
huh?
What kind of equipment you working with?
Man, I got everything you could think of. I got it right behind me. You can't see
Mm.
it. Here, I'll
Yeah,
show you
I'll see
something.
it. I see the case right there.
So this box right there, whenever I speak, it lights up.
Is that a geo box?
No, it's a box that I made. What I did was I
Oh.
took the Stephen Huff's idea, but my idea was building it just like his, which I did. The only thing different is about the lights. As I'm speaking right now,
Hmm.
they moving up and down. But when I don't say nothing, they don't move. Watch. Nothing. So instead of me having to run a spirit box, I could put this in a room, in a building somewhere, or in a house somewhere. Put a camera on it, put a digital recorder on there. It's voice activated. So if spirits are going to talk and communicate, this bad boy's going to light up.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, okay. So how much you want for it?
You can't afford it.
How much you want for it?
$800.
Get the hell out of here! $800.
$800
Tell you
bucks.
what, I give you $200.
You say what?
I give you $200.
Yeah, you better go to the bank and get more.
Okay, hey, that's all I got.
I'll be honest with you.
That is
It's a good box. It's a really cool box though. But it costs just to build it more than 200. So everything
who
I
built
got
it. I
in
mean, how
there,
long did it take you to build it?
actually, it don't take you that long to build them. Anybody can build one as long as you know how to tune it right. Um, because I can plug in a PSP 7, PSP 11. I can do apps through there if I want it. I don't do apps, but you
Hmm.
can if you want. So I'll go ahead and tell you how much it costs to build, right? Because I'm not building these things to sell them. I'm not doing that. No way. Mm-mm. The amp alone is $200. You're
Oh.
looking at about another 250 to 300 for the pedals. The kind I got on there.
Hmm.
Okay, so you're at $500 right now. So we're not talking about the wires. I got a battery pack on the back of it. Here, I'll bring it closer so you can see. I got a battery pack on there that cost me about $80. So do the math. We're getting up there in price. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you getting
You
up
could
there.
build them cheaper. So the lights on the front are probably about 30, $40 a piece. Now do you see why I say $800?
Yeah, numbers getting up there. Hey, and you also got a pocket just to you got to cover that overhead every now, just a little bit.
So this pedal, they don't make it no more. This is a very rare pedal. You can't get it. This is one of the original pedals that Steve Huff would use. Then you got another one on the back. Then your lights and stuff like that. I got some
That's
crystals,
pretty cool.
whatnot. And then there's the battery pack on the back. The battery pack will last you
Okay.
about, I don't know, a week maybe, depending how long you run
Okay.
it. But it's got a
And how many
USB
pounds
port.
it weigh?
This thing, about 7, 8 pounds.
Okay.
It's got weight to it. It's not light. But nobody touches this thing but me. You ask anybody on my team, nobody touches this box. They don't touch this, and they don't touch my SLS camera.
Ah. Now, how do you feel about all these phone apps that are out? Do you
About the
use any
what?
of those?
About the
Those
what?
phone apps, those phone apps that are out. All these ghost apps that are out.
True. You want me to lie to you or just tell you the truth?
Tell me the truth.
If you're buying the app, you're wasting your fucking money.
Mm. Would you say just some of them or all of them?
Um, I don't think GhostTube works. I've already proved that one right now just by going to their website and just reading it. So GhostTube, just I don't think GhostTube works, but on their website it says they use 500 most commonly used words and phrases.
Okay.
That's not very many. If you buy the I guess like a plus edition or whatever they call it, you get like
Hmm.
12 or 1500 commonly used words or 25 or something like that. So that tells me right there alone that those words program into the app to let say random shit. Okay, plain and simple. They also have an app for like their SLS and thermal stuff. Well, your phone does not have thermal. So let's get that out of the way real quick. Like your phone does not have thermal. The only way you're gonna have thermal on your phone if you went out and bought a flare device that actually plugs into the back of your phone and they have an app that you can
Hmm.
use, like contractors and stuff, they use it, find leaks and stuff like that, but that would work. But if you go to an app and it says no, your phone does not have a built-in thermal. That's just If you don't believe me, you can look it up. It's not there.
Oh no, no, no.
You know.
You're good. Trust me. You know,
One
like
app. There is one app that I have used, and I think it might work. To be honest with you, um, and that is the Necrophonic app. I have had some pretty good success with that. To be honest with you, because I've gotten my first and last name out of it. So
oh wow, really?
that's pretty interesting. Yeah. I'm not 100% on it. I'm 50-50 on that app. Um, Now I have used Bill Chappell's. I have all three of his apps. I think they're like 2.99 a piece. They seem like
Ooh,
they work.
they work? Okay. You know
Yeah,
what? I'm gonna have to check that out.
yeah, they
Um,
seem to work.
you know,
Um,
because
but
I tell
my
you what,
thing,
there's I can't afford an SLS camera, so I have used that app.
why
And you
buy
know
it? You
what?
just build it. You can build your
I mean,
own.
I
They're not
I
hard to
mean,
do.
dude, that's telling me to. Hey, you know what? I barely change a tire and a damn battery in a car,
Well, you have to get up. You have to get
so
with
I
me. I'll
know
hook
I
you up.
can't build an SLS.
It's not
You know
hard. All it
what
is,
I'm
you're
saying?
downloading
So
a program, and
that
that's it. All you need is a Connect camera, a battery source, and download the Microsoft software, and that's it. That's all you need. That's all you need.
I'll figure it out. Maybe one day
You could
I'll
probably
do it.
build one for
But
under
in the
$100.
meantime,
Literally, you could build one
oh
for under a
really?
hundred bucks.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I got a couple
it's
of
out there.
uh, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna have to check it out, man. You know, I got a couple things that are I'm working on, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. All right. Well, you know what? What does your wife think about all this? You know,
About
you owning a cemetery,
she
you,
likes it.
you know,
She's cool with it. And I don't know. Like
she probably say, don't bring nothing home.
I'm always hearing that from her.
Oh boy,
Because
how
like
many times a day do
because
you hear that going out there?
because I don't protect myself. I don't.
Okay.
I don't protect myself at
Really?
all. I do sage off, and I burn a little Palo Santo here and there. I don't. I just don't protect myself.
Hmm.
I got my
Is
reasons.
there a reason why you don't, or you,
Yeah, there's
ah,
a reason.
or do you
There is a
want to
reason.
bring something?
No, no,
Ah,
I don't want to bring it home. But let's put it like this, right? If if you protect yourself while you're on a location, do
mm-hmm.
you think you're going to get something legit? Versus you protect
uh,
yourself and it stays away from you. But if you're a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator, you want to see it, you want to hear it, you want to feel it, you want to see what it can do and what the power it has. But if you're protected, you'll never know the power that it has. Something to think about.
you got a point. You know, I see that. You know, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but
Just saying.
you, you know what? It really it sounds like you know what you're doing. You know, how long you been doing this?
Too long. Well, as a team
Too
now, I've been
long.
doing it for 7 years as a team. But I did some stuff years ago, just some random stuff, but I didn't really believe in it. And then
Mm.
actually, I owe it. I'll be honest with you, I owe it to my wife and my mother-in-law. They kind of pushed me to do what I do, and this is how I'm here today. You know, so I guess it wasn't for
Right.
them. None of this would exist.
You got any kids?
Yeah.
How old are your
Uh, my,
kids?
I got a 16-year-old and a 14-year-old and a 5-year-old.
Now, would you?
Yeah, I can
What
get
would
it,
you?
man.
What would you?
Yeah.
What would you tell them if they say, "Pop, I want to be a paranormal investigator"?
If they said what?
If they say, "Pop, I want to be a paranormal investigator,"
Let's go.
let's
I don't
go.
have a problem with
Have
that.
they asked you? Have they asked you? Has the 16-year-old asked you?
My son has. My son has already asked me that, but I tell him when he's at that age where he can make his decision on his own as an
Hmm.
adult, then we'll talk. Until
Okay.
then,
Now,
don't
are
bring it
you?
back up.
Well, let me ask you a question about the cemetery. Well, who would you will it off to once you're gone? Your kids, or you? Do you have a plan for that?
Kind of do, kind of don't. Um, my son wants to learn how to be a paranormal investigator, and he wants to take over Memphis Ghost Hunters when my times come. I don't think that's going to happen. Um, I think once I'm gone, there's no more Memphis Ghost Hunters. When it comes to the cemetery, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've thought about maybe donate it to a church, maybe some type of organization, uh, a historical society of some sort that could, you know, keep the cemetery clean and beautiful. Ghost hunting stuff. I think like I'm going. It's a done deal. I had
Oh
my
wow.
fun.
Okay, cool.
And I think I would probably donate most of my. I'll probably have a team where I would donate all my equipment.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll take the cemetery off your hands.
I ain't dying
Trust
tomorrow,
me.
fool.
I'm just saying, man, because people always
I
got to
thought about
prepare.
I did think about leaving it to my kids. Um,
You think they will do the right thing with it?
I think they'll probably just sell it. My son probably would. I almost
That's
sold
right.
it. I'm not gonna lie. I almost sold the property not long ago, but I decided not to because I was
Well, what was
so
the
like
price?
too high.
Now,
I, I
what were they planning on doing with the property?
I don't know. The person who
Because you
wanted
got a
it,
lot of swindlers out there.
yeah, they gave me an offer, but it was this church that's behind there, and me and him don't get along too well, and he threw a price at me, and I said, nah, but if you want it, you can have it for this much. So I went above estimated value of the property. If you want that bad, that's what you're
What do
going
you
to pay.
say? Nope.
I never heard anything back.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, the property's worth like
Wow.
$80,000,
Well,
right? So I told him he could have it for 200,000,
damn, dude, you
and I was
doubled
going
up
to
on
give
it.
a portion of that to my one of my team members, Dan, because he's done a lot of work out there. I was going to help him out with a little bit of it
Hmm.
if they would have gave me the money, and then the rest of it, I was going to buy a historical home to run ghost tours out of. But somebody said, "Well, what if it's not
Speaking
haunted?"
of
I said,
historic,
"I'll make it haunted."
I'll bring them in.
I will
All right.
definitely bring them
Now,
in. You say
is
when?
is is there any? Speaking of haunted homes, are there any plantations out there in Memphis, man, you can get into?
Um, Not in Memphis. Uh, like the plantation homes that were around here, they're pretty much all destroyed. From back in the
Oh, really?
1800s. Yeah. To get really closer to like plantation homes and stuff like that, you need to go like to Arkansas, Mississippi, Kentucky, Alabama, or even like East Tennessee. So,
Mm.
there's reasons. You gotta look at where I live. You know, Memphis. You know,
Well you're close to the Mason Dixie line, aren't you? How far are you from that?
I'm not far.
You're not far,
I'm right
so
here.
yeah. So the Mason Dixie line is in Memphis.
Close to it.
Oh wow! So
But I wouldn't
you're
claim it. You
actually
know, but
hey,
I mean,
you're not.
I'm like 10 miles away from Mississippi, another 10 miles away from Arkansas. I mean, just cross over the
Oh
freaking
wow!
bridge.
Now, are you considered a southerner, or are you considered a northerner because you're actually right there?
I'm considered as a Southerner. Let's not forget that. I'm from the South, born and raised and die here. I'm from the South. This ain't Kentucky. Kentucky ain't Southern. Kentucky was a
Hey,
Union state.
Kentuckians, I didn't say that.
Depending where you live at in Texas, it's considered a Southern state.
Well, yeah, you're right because anything in the Beaumont, anything East Texas is southern.
Right.
Once you pass Houston, it's considered west. And I live in
True.
Austin, Round Rock, and I'm considered west.
Central.
So I'm a long. Hey, I'm not southern anyway, but it's all good, dude. Like, I do know one thing about down here in Texas, dude. There's a lot to investigate. There's a lot of history. I mean, you can't go
Right. Right.
anywhere without bumping into a damn historical marker on something that happened on a certain piece of land.
Well, that's like
You know what
here.
I'm
It's
saying?
the same way here in Memphis. There's a lot of historical places here in Memphis. But see, the problem with it really is for a paranormal investigator on these historical places, they don't want you doing anything with it because we're in the Bible Belt. This is the Bible Belt. You know, they don't want you ghost hunting and doing the devil's work. You know, but
Yeah, yeah. Are you
uh,
able to get into? Hey, are you able to get into Elvis' place, Graceland?
I've done something that most investigators will never be able to get to do.
And what is that?
I did a place called Dad's Place. Dad's Place is a bar that's at it's the old Ramada Inn by Graceland. And when Elvis Presley was getting Graceland remodeled back in
Hmm.
the old days, he actually lived there. And in this bar uh, called Dad's Place, there is a special booth where Elvis used to sit at. And he would just come in and drink Coca Colas. And he had his own stripper pole at his booth.
Oh wow.
So I've actually me and one other investigating team has been there, and that's Mandy with Ghost Sisters, and me, and Dan's been there, and another friend of ours has been there. So that's about as close as we're going to get to Elvis Presley.
Now, does anybody
You can't
live
go.
on it? Does anybody live in Graceland?
Elvis.
I'm, I'm talking about what
um,
family members is,
I know
or is it
Priscilla
just?
and Lisa Marie. They do come visit Graceland. They're usually there during the week of Elvis, and they're usually there during Christmas time.
Oh wow.
Uh, I know back in the '80s, he had a cousin that was living upstairs. I do know that, but I don't know for how long. But no one lives there.
Oh wait, you
High
know what?
security though,
I
huh?
wish I wish I was there when he married when his daughter married Michael Jackson. Boy, I bet you he was turning over in his grave. Flip, flip, flip,
I
flip,
don't
flip.
know.
Hey,
He probably wasn't.
man,
To be honest with you, I don't
you
think he
think so?
would. No.
I don't know, man. That was such a weird.
Well, you also got to remember this, okay? when it came to Elvis Presley and people like Jerry Lee Lewis, if it wasn't for the black community, there would never be rock and roll.
Oh yeah, of course. But I just
Like it's like what Sam Phillips told Jerry Lee Lewis. He said, if you got a white left hand and you got a black right hand and you put them together, you got rock and roll, baby.
oh you got mud. Either one. But Jerry Lee
Country
Lewis.
to the blues, mix it up. Bam, there you go, man.
Oh, see, there you go. Now let's talk about those pictures you sent me, man. Those ribs. Well, no, what was that? Sirloin?
That was pork loin with bacon on the bottom.
Pork loin with bacon in about it. Now they say Memphis, man. They say Memphis
We got the
is
best
known for.
barbecue in the world.
Ah, see, there you go. I don't know about that, man.
We got the best barbecue in the
Now,
world.
explain why. Why would you say that?
Huh?
Why would you say that?
Because it's 95% black people that live here and they know how to cook.
But what about the people up in St. Louis? What about the people in
Yeah,
Texas? What
that's
about the
slop.
people in North
That's slop.
Carolina?
That's slop. Memphis is about the barbecue. That's all it is. And there's no debating about it. It's the best.
What if you were
St.
some? If
Louis, people in St. Louis won't be like the people in Memphis because people who lived in Memphis now live in St. Louis. So we had to show them how it is. The only thing you got going on
hey,
in Texas is brisket. Y'all can keep that
no,
nasty
that
stuff.
no, man, we're known for our ribs. We're known for everything.
Down
And
here
you
in
know what?
Memphis is about the barbecue. Ain't
Well,
no
I thought.
no other place in America that's going to beat us.
Well, I don't
I
know,
promise you.
man. North Carolina throwing it down over there.
They put vinegar in their crap.
Well,
That's
I
good.
mean,
They keep that little vinegar sauce that they want to put in their little meat. Go ahead. They want to put a little pickle juice in there, and they can do whatever they want to do. They can keep that
okay,
mess.
and Memphis is what you
We
guys
wet
are
and
all
sloppy.
about. You guys are all about the sauce.
We all about the sauce, man.
You guys about the sauce. St. Louis is all about the dryness.
Right.
Now in Texas, you get all of that combined into one.
No, it's brisket.
No, it's not brisket.
You can't tell me
Right?
I'm wrong on that one. It's about the
Well,
brisket.
it is about the brisket, but we are venturing out into pork ribs, beef ribs, sausage, and just all those other things that you guys
People
don't
up north
do.
want to be like the people down south. There you go.
So what's up with that damn? Hey, what's up with that damn Memphis coleslaw you guys are doing over there?
Tastes better than that shit they got in Texas.
Hey, you know what? I've never even tried coleslaw, man. Yeah,
The coleslaw's
it,
good
it
though.
just looks so damn funny to me.
It's just
You know what I'm saying?
cabbage.
You got carrots and cabbage, and
That's
I
good
don't even
stuff,
know what
man.
that purple stuff is. What is that purple stuff in there?
Oh, that's that purple cabbage.
That purple cabbage and all that
Right.
stuff, man. Coleslaw has never been none of my things. But if you can give me some good homemade soul food, that's one thing I can say Memphis can do.
Hell
You
yeah.
know that good
What other
Southern
state
soul
where we
food,
could have chicken and spaghetti all in the same meal?
man. Ooh-wee.
I'm talking about fried chicken. I ain't talking about no baked, watered down chicken. I'm talking about fried chicken.
Hey, you can cook me some good Southern fried chicken, man. The way,
Man,
uh,
I can make fried chicken make you want to slap your mama. You
the
think
way
I'm kidding?
Grandma used to do it, then we got to deal
Man,
because
the way I do it, I got a little secret in mind though, man. In my little batter, I put a little bit of lemon juice. That lemon juice, man, it makes that the the flake of the deep fried,
uh huh.
the crisp, it makes it flaky.
Oh
So you
wow,
take
I
the
didn't
little
know that.
flakes, man, you put it in your mashed potatoes or put it in your gravy or whatever. Yeah. You hungry now, ain't you?
We, yeah, man.
We
I
down here,
have. I
we
ain't
fry
goddamn. I'm
everything.
starving. Shit, I ain't.
Man, we
I ain't
fry
ate all
everything. Fried
day.
bologna,
You know what I'm
fried
saying?
cheese, fried whatever. Whatever you want fried, we can fry
I know. I ain't never fried no cheese before.
it.
I ain't. Hey, have y'all ever
but
had
but
fried cheese before?
our barbecue, we cook it slow. We mean slow.
I mean, how slow? Give me a number. 115, 120, 125,
Well, it depends on what you want to
or
cook.
180.
All right, so like my
Well,
pork loin today,
okay.
my pork loin I had it at 250. When I do my ribs, I stay around 175 and 200. And
Okay,
same
well,
thing
now
when I do with my
are we
butt.
now
Huh?
are we talking beef? Are we talking beef or pork ribs?
Well, beef same way. I when I do beef ribs, I do them slow. I don't do them high. If you
Okay,
cook if the heat's too hot, it's going to dry out too fast. It's like my ribs. I want to be like pull apart rib, but I don't want that heat real hot. I want that heat a little low. But not anywhere below 175. Some people do like 150, 160. But
so
I
how
try
long you
I
cooking
try to
for
keep
it?
mine at 175. 175, 200, perfect.
For what? For what? 2, 3 hours? 4 hours max?
Well, my ribs a little
Yeah.
different. I I, I have a technique. It's called a 3-2-1 method.
What the hell is a 3-2-1 method?
All right, so I'm gonna tell you my recipe, and then you can make some for your wife or whoever. Uh, so I take that membrane off the back of my rib, okay,
Okay.
and I put mustard as a binder. Now you're not gonna taste the mustard because of the vinegar in it. So you rub it on one side, and you put a nice little coat of your rub. Don't rub it in. Don't pat it in. Just sprinkle it on there on both sides. I put it in that smoker at 175. But when I do my smoker, I get it hot, then I throw my wood on there. Um, don't use cherry wood. I use hickory and maybe like a peach or an apple with a mixture. And sometimes I'll use oak, depending how I feel. So when you got them in there,
Hell,
remember,
I thought you was. Hey, I thought.
however you put your ribs in that smoker, that's how they're going to cook and that's how they're going to stay. So if you put an L shape in your ribs, that's how it's going to be when it's done. Okay. So I put
Okay.
them in there. I close that lid up for 3 hours. Do not open the lid. That's where everybody messes up at. Do not open the lid for 3 hours. Okay. After that 3 hours and you're staying at 175, you pull those ribs off. Okay. I put I put
Mm-hmm.
butter, brown sugar, and honey on both sides. And I wrap them up in foil and I put them back in for 2 more hours. Okay. But when you wrap them, double wrap them in aluminum foil. Once that's done, you pull that out, right? You open them up, you put the ribs back in there. Now, all that juice you got, you could make barbecue
Uh
sauce
huh.
with it, or you could put it back on top of the rib like I do. I pour mine back on top. In the end, I'll shut the lid for about 10, 15 minutes, open back up, and I put my barbecue sauce on there for the next hour. Make it nice and sticky.
Mm.
Done.
Well, that sounds good, man. Hell, I'm saying, make me want to go get a slab of ribs right now.
Dude, my wife, man, she loves my ribs. But it took me a while to perfect it. You know what I mean? So, but my mother-in-law, she does competition at the Memphis in
Mm-hmm.
May here, the big barbecue championship thing.
Right.
And her and her friend have both said that on my ribs, I can compete. That's what I've been
Oh.
told.
Oh wow. Well, you know what?
Yeah,
When
I know
you
how to
make
do
some ribs, when you make some ribs, you send me a picture.
it. I can cook it now. Now my wife, she's good at them sides
Send
now.
me some ribs.
That reminds me, like
All right.
in May, we're having a big camp out for like a lot of paranormal teams, and we're gonna be smoking
Uh
some chicken. We're gonna be smoking some pork butts. You need to come on down.
huh.
There's
You
your
mean come
opportunity.
over? Hey man, if I come over there, hey, you know
You
what?
might not
I'm gonna
leave.
pinch you. Hey, I'm gonna get me the biggest RV I can find. I'm gonna camp out right there in front of your cemetery.
You be camping out on the street.
Well, hey, right there in your cemetery, man. And hey,
Man, come on
I'm
down,
gonna
man.
party all. Hey, they gonna party with me, man. They gonna. Hey, I'm inviting everybody. Come on down and party.
Yeah, we're doing
You know what I'm
a
saying?
big camp out. Uh, we're gonna raise some money for the cemetery. We're hoping we can raise enough money to get a fence because the fence is so old
Okay.
out there. So I'm trying.
So
Go ahead.
have you priced the fence?
Yeah, it's
What
almost $6,000, man.
for a fence?
I got 7.5 acres, bro.
Ooh wee. Hey, somebody fence gonna come up missing. I'm taking somebody's
I had
fence.
one guy. He said it'd be like around 5,200.
See,
Uh,
but that's with labor. Am I
right,
right?
right, right.
Well, no,
Product and
let's throw
labor.
that whole labor thing out of the window. 'Cause, you
They ain't
know,
gonna do
you,
that.
yeah,
They are
because if
not gonna throw that out at all, buddy. I'm telling you right now,
but
they
all
will
you
not
need is
throw
the
that out.
wood. If you get the wood and a couple of pounds of concrete and some diggers, we can go out there and dig those. Dig them holes. How far down you want to go? 3 feet, 6 feet.
I had one guy tell me he could like probably just repair what was bad out there. But I think once I get everything the way I get it, because like right now I got some stuff that I got to weed eat down, and I got a lot of wood I got to move.
Hmm.
I think once we get that taken care of, you know, where it's really nice with a new fence, I think it would pop out and look a lot nicer than what it does right
Because
now.
because all that wood, man, you get you a big. Because you already said you got a fireplace. I mean, a fire pit out there. So why not just move all that wood, use it for firewood, and next
You
thing you know,
you realize
have it.
do you realize how big 7.5 acres is?
Oh yeah, I trust me. I know how big it is. You get you an RV. Hey, you get your little 4 wheeler with a chain and start moving that wood, and just start pulling it. You'll be good to
Got
go.
to have money for the 4-wheeler first.
Well, yeah, you got a point there. You got a point there,
We
man.
got some trailer and stuff, and I got a little yard wagon that we take out there. You know, we do a little bit at a time. That's all we can do.
Well, yeah, I mean that's all
But
between it.
all the wood gets recycled anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
so I
it goes
mean,
right to the campground.
well, I'm pretty sure the people out there, man, they probably, you know, probably say thank you and appreciate,
Yeah,
what you're
I
doing
know
for us.
all the people who've came to the tours, and like especially my followers. I got people who are dedicated. I mean, dedicated of coming out there every single time I put a tour on. And that means a lot to us, big time. But everybody who's been out there, not one negative thing about it. They all enjoy it. You know, it's cool. They love
Yeah,
it.
I
They love
mean,
it.
keep doing what you're doing, brother. You know what?
Right.
If you build it, they will come.
That's what they say. They've been coming.
You know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
I
So.
question it though. You get nervous, man, when you put on that event and you ain't sold no tickets and you got like a week before it's supposed to start. You're like, man, are they coming or not?
Do you sell all your tickets on Bright? How do you sell your tickets?
I sell my tickets on Fair Harbor.
Pearl Harbor? What about
So they go to my website and they click on book now,
okay, so what
which
about if I
it's
want to pay cash?
you can pay cash at the gate.
There you go.
Like you could pay online. I could take cash at the gate, or you could pay with debit or credit card at the gate too. So
Cool. I mean, you can't beat that, dude.
no,
You
no,
really
no.
can't. You know,
But then
I
we got an
you know
online store. We have an online
are
store
you
too that helps restore the cemetery.
are you
Here, I'll
selling
show you
merch?
some.
Do you got any merchandise?
Yeah, I'll show you a few things. Here, I'll grab these and show you what we got. This is a few things. So That's part of it.
Okay.
Incense. We got these right here. And we sell tarot cards. So we offer like free shipping. Here's some more, you know.
Oh shit.
So we sell like
All right.
tapestries and
You got any shirts,
incense and
hats?
yeah, I got shirts, no hats. I got Memphis Ghost Center shirts. Here, I'll show you. So, bam, here we go. Well, shoot, I can't get it right.
Oh, that's nice.
Memphis Ghost Center.
I like
Yeah,
that. Now, what size is that?
not your size, not my size either.
Oh,
I got
damn.
a large. I think I got like a couple more like 2X's over there.
Well, hey, it would be an honor if you sent me one.
Do what now?
Send me one. I don't mind paying.
Yeah, I can do that. Let me. I
And
have to go
now,
there and
how
see what I
much is that
got. Yeah, I
shirt?
can definitely do that. Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
send me
everything
one,
we
dude.
do,
I'll
like
wear it.
everything on our site. So the way it works is like the money that I spent to bring it in, like it's all new
Mm-hmm.
stuff. It's not cheap stuff. So the money I pay for it, I take that out, and then whatever's profit goes back in the cemetery. And it's not that much profit, to be honest with you. I wish it was, but it's just something to give back.
Right.
You know,
I
it
tell
was
you what,
one of our
I
ideas
got
that we had.
merch. I got merch from last year, man. I swore I like, man, I can get
Dude, I
rid
got
of
stuff
this
from
in a
last year over
matter,
here.
and I still got it, dude. It's still sitting in storage.
Man, it's
I
like
mean,
I
I
got some
got
extra
hats.
stuff over here that have been sitting around.
Yeah, I
I don't know.
got
It's kind of
hats,
cool though.
hoodies, all that stuff, man. You advertise. People always say, man, can you drop the price? I'm like, dude, hell, I paid such and such for it. Then I'm trying to get a little
Right.
overhead, but you want to take that away from me? What
Now
the hell?
sometimes I'll drop the price, especially at the events and stuff. I'll drop the price down a little bit, but I don't do a whole lot. Now if they buy from me like all the time, I cut them a deal. I
Yep.
will. But like people who buy from my website, they get a free gift every single time they purchase something. If it's incense, like I've been giving out necklaces,
Oh, okay,
little
cool.
stone necklace. Every time there's an order, I throw one in there, put a little note, thanks for supporting us. And I got repeat customers. Like I got one customer right now. He wants to know if I'll bring in Ouija boards. So that's another thing I'm looking at right now.
That's a.
Dude, I got one. Where's it at? Dude, I got one that's really freaking cool. It's not really a Ouija board though.
do you, how do you feel about them things?
They're made by Parker Brothers.
Do you
Hang on.
use them? Oh.
No, I don't see it. I thought I had one out over here. I guess I don't. But I got these two. Palo Santo.
Oh shit. Okay. So you don't use the Ouija board
I mean, I
now.
have.
How do you feel about people using them out there on your property?
I don't care. Whatever.
It don't affect me.
Hey, if they're gonna make it more haunted, go for it. I mean, they're
Right.
not gonna hurt nothing.
Well, never
That's why they
know.
sign. That's why they sign waivers when they come and investigate.
Yeah, I
Use
ain't
at
being
your own
responsible for
risk.
nothing. Yeah, I feel you
Use
on
at
that.
your own risk. I'm telling you, I'm different. I'm different because, like, look, on all these tours across America, you got all these little bitty freaking rules that you have to follow. Okay, I don't want to be that guy. You know, I've been to paid locations where people have watched over my shoulder while I'm trying to investigate. I'm not doing that. I want you to come out. I want you to bring your team out. I want you to come out there and do your experience or experiment and do what you do best. Investigate. Have fun. You want to drink a
Right,
little
right.
beer? So what? You want to smoke a little pot? I don't care. Have fun. Have fun doing what you're doing. You're out in the cemetery with a bunch of dead people. Have fun. I'll see you in the morning.
Exactly. See you in the
Plain and
morning.
simple.
All right.
You got my
Well, you
phone
know
number. Just
what?
call
That
me. That's how I am, dude. I don't care what they do.
how many times have the popos showed up out there?
Once.
Once.
That was because I
Give you
forgot to
any?
call them. So what happens is this, right? I came out there one time, but that was my fault. So what happens is like if your team wants to come out to investigate my cemetery, you paid that 300 to rent it overnight. Uh, a couple days prior, I will call the local police and let them know that hey, there's some people out there. They're camping out. They'll be out there for 18 hours. Okay, and what they do is
Mm-hmm.
about a lot of times they'll come out like every 4 or 5 hours. They'll drive by. That's it. I'll put a little spotlight on you. On the way they go, just to make sure you're okay. That's it. You
Oh,
ready to go?
okay. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't really have any rules. The only rule I really have is take your trash home with you.
Yeah, no fucking littering, man. Don't litter up the damn
Take your trash
campsite in the
home with you.
cemetery. What the hell?
And I just tell people not
Wow.
to sit on the headstones and stuff like that. But
Have anybody ever called you and said that they brought something home from your cemetery?
I'm not disclosed to talk about that this time. um, I've had people say that, like they'd be like they've gotten sick or, they feel weird, getting home or stuff like that. But a lot of times I call it the para hangover from investigating all night. That's what I
Hmm.
call it anyway.
Oh, okay.
But not no attachment or anything like that, not yet anyway.
Oh, wow.
I've
Well,
had people
that's
go out there and
cool.
get sick and get scared to death. I did a tour not long ago, and the lady took off running. She got scared
Why,
and ran out there and cussed me out. But
why would you do that?
nah, she got pushed.
Oh,
She
damn.
got pushed out
Well,
there.
that okay. For somebody who's never experienced anything like that, that can
Yeah,
be kind of nerve wracking. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
buddy.
That definitely can
She
be kind of nerve
she
wracking.
wanna see like
But
my tours are different, right? So my tours is hands on. Okay, that's the way they work. You come for a tour, okay, just like the regular event tour that I put on with my paranormal
mhm.
equipment. You get to learn how to be the paranormal investigator. You're not just walking around the cemetery and watching us do all the work. We're watching you do the work.
Oh
That's what
wow.
makes it more fun. I truly believe people enjoy um, coming out there to actually get to hold and touch the paranormal equipment and get to be the paranormal investigator while we sit back and we supervise. It's fun that
Hmm.
way. Think
Yeah.
about it.
What
A
does
lot of these places that put on these tours, right? It's always freaking boring. It's the same shit over and over
yeah.
and over again. But why not give the public something to enjoy? Where they could go
Oh, okay, I
home
can
and
see
say,
that.
"Hey, I got to hold the spirit box, and Jimmy said hello to me." You know what I mean?
Hmm. Right.
Or it said my
Like
name. Oh my god!
yeah, like Memphis ghost tours.
Right. They love that stuff, man.
I actually reached out to those guys once, and
Which
I
who?
did Memphis Ghost Tours.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, dude, I don't even. When I talk to the lady, she's like, I have not done that in like 15 years. I'm like, well, why do you still have a Facebook page?
Told you.
Why do you still have a Facebook page?
That's what they
You
do, man.
know, I, oh my God, dude, if you're not active on your social media, if you're not doing what you are doing on your social media, uh, deactivate it until you
Right.
get ready to
I
get
mean, I
back
don't
up.
post every single day, but at least there's at least one or two a week, But I used to post
Because
every
I
day.
because I think that's leading people on, dude. And
It
it's
is.
everybody. And it's a lot of people, and it irritates the hell out of me, dude. Because I reach out to so many paranormal investigators, and none of them. Oh, sound like you're in trouble.
Right. It's crazy,
you know,
man.
everybody just leave a number or callback number, email something, so where somebody can get a hold of you. If not, just deactivate your damn Facebook page, dude, because you're wasting everybody's time if somebody want to get a
They
hold of you.
just leave it there and they forget about it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they do. Okay. Well, brother, hey, it's been an hour and 36 minutes, man.
Dang, it has, hasn't it? It's time for
Yeah.
you to get out of here.
Well, I gotta eat. Hey, since you're not sending me none of that damn pork, I
Well,
mean,
you live too far away. You're like 12, 13 hours away, man.
shit, a lot longer than 12, 13 hours.
Is it really?
You- oh yeah, trust me. Shit, it's 6 hours
To Austin?
just to it's 6 hours just from Austin to Lake Charles.
Let's see here.
From Austin to Lake Charles is 6 hours. From from Lake Charles to New Orleans, it's another 2.5, maybe 3 hours. And for how far is it from New Orleans to Memphis, Tennessee?
You're only 9 hours and 41 minutes from me.
That can't be right, dude.
I'm looking
Hey,
at it right
I'm
now.
doing hell. How fast you fucking flying? You doing what?
No, you're driving. Nine
85,
hours and
90?
41 minutes to Memphis. It's 663 minutes or miles.
Well, shit,
Excuse me,
hell, I can get
663
there.
miles.
Hell, well, I'm not
You're not
counting
far at
all the
all, buddy.
pit
That's a day
stops.
drive, man. Come on down.
Hell, shit, I'm not counting all the pit stops and all that shit. Hell, man,
Okay, we'll give it
it'll
10
still
hours
take
then.
me.
10-hour drive.
Hell, it'll
Okay,
still take me
food and
20
dinner,
hours to
11
get
hours.
there.
You'll be here.
Yeah, stopping in New
That ain't
Orleans and
nothing,
all that
man.
stuff. Hey, I cannot pass up New Orleans without stopping there.
Oh, you have to
You
go
know what I'm
further
saying?
south, and that's about 6 more hours.
Yeah, see? And then I got to
About six
stop in
more hours that
Houston
way,
and
man.
do all this stuff, man. It'll take me a while. Besides, who said the damn ribs won't be there when I get there? You been and ate them all.
Yeah, probably.
you know.
It ain't
Hey,
hard to make
brother.
more.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah, it
when I do my
is.
smoked chicken, my wife's like, "You don't make enough." I can make two whole
Smoked
chickens, and it's
chicken.
still not enough.
Well, damn. Hey, man, you got some growing boys, man. You got to cook at least at least a couple of racks of chicken.
Dude, me and my wife, we could eat a whole chicken by ourselves.
I'm tired of chicken, dude. I'm clucking right now.
Man, I love chicken, bro.
I do. I like it
I
too,
love
but
it.
damn, how many times? Hey, how many ways can you cook it that you've ate it?
There's a ton of ways to cook chicken.
You can boil it, bake
Fry it,
it,
bake it,
saute it,
boil it.
fucking mushroom it. I mean, there's so many ways that you can cook it, dude. If you once you have it all every which
Man, you could
way,
have chicken and
you can
waffles one
smoke it.
night. You could have baked chicken, smoked chicken, barbecue chicken, sauteed chicken. Uh, it's like Bubba off of freaking Forrest Gump. We can have chicken so many
Yeah,
ways. Chicken
you
and
can have
shrimp,
shrimp.
chicken and fries.
Yeah, I can't
chicken
do
and
it,
peas,
man.
chicken salad.
You know what? I can only cook. I mean, I can only eat chicken so many ways. Forget that shit.
We can have chicken wings, teriyaki barbecue, hot fire, burning from
Slice
hell.
kebab chicken.
What any kind of chicken you want. You can have
No,
chicken
dude, I'm
breast,
good. I'm
chicken
good. I
legs,
can't
chicken
do no
wings,
chicken. Nope.
chicken
Nope.
thighs.
Nah, I might do the thighs.
You can have some gizzards too if you want.
Oh, dude, no, man, I can't do no gizzards.
You can't eat no
I
gizzards.
mean, no, I can't eat no gizzards, man. Them gizzards are funny.
Man, it tastes like
I mean,
chicken.
as much as I used to when I was young. I know that's what it is.
I like chicken liver
Hey,
myself.
barbecue gizzards. Oh, see,
Yeah,
that's even
I'm a
nasty.
sucker for chicken liver.
I use that. I use it to catfish with. How can I use something I use for catfish, then turn around and eat it?
Catfish and chicken.
Yeah, see.
I love fish now. I love my fish. I love catfish.
Yeah, I can't do it, man. But
Yeah,
hey,
catfish
brother,
is
it has
good.
been you know what? I gotta get out of here so I can eat. It has been a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right, man.
Hey, you take it easy, man. Hey, appreciate you coming on the show talking about your cemetery. Hey, but next time,
No problem.
let's get the whole team out there, man, on the show. I'd love to get the whole team on the show so
We
we can
love to
get
do that.
a bigger perspective
We can set that up.
on what's going on. If you can, let's set it up for after the holidays.
All right.
You know,
I can't do it right after Christmas because I got a
see
big
what's going on.
investigation. I got a big investigation December 29th. I'm going to be in Bristol, Tennessee. So, but then after that, I'm free.
Well, you going to investigate the racetrack?
No, I'm going there. It's called the Euro Shrine. If you want to know more, I'll be live tomorrow night talking about that. You come over and you can check it out. You know,
Okay,
it's
what time?
200 teams of me being there. I think it's 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock our time. Is that right?
Well,
I'll send you the info. I think it's 9 o'clock my time.
Are you Eastern or Central?
No, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. It's at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Central?
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Okay. Well, I'm zone. So,
yeah.
Hey, send me a link.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll send you one.
Yeah, send me a link and I'll click onto it, dude, and see what
All
the
right,
hell's
I'll do
going on.
that.
You know what I'm saying?
All
right, brother. Hey, you have yourself a good night, brother.
All right, man. See ya.
And yes, sir. Have a good night.
You too.
Peace. All right, mama. Come on. All right, guys. That was Memphis Paranormal Society. You not doing? Yeah, I'm just doing my ending show. Hey, cool guy, dude. Very unorthodox, but pretty cool paranormal investigator. He owns his own cemetery. And how many people you know that owns their own cemetery and and trying to do the right thing with it? You know, he wants to do the upkeep, but you know what? Upkeep costs money. It's just like all these other places around here that are, doing what they want to do with all their, haunted venues. So, he's just trying to, make sure he do the right thing with it. But you know what, guys? I am hungry. I am gonna go get me something to eat. I appreciate all you guys coming on the show today. Check me out tomorrow because I think tomorrow I will be in. Let's see where I'm headed to. I think I'm still in Texas. So let's see where I'm headed to tomorrow. Tomorrow I will be with Texas Paranormal Gathering. With those guys up in the Dallas Fort Worth area. So watch out for that. I will leave the link to the podcast for the show tomorrow. In the meantime, peace. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.